Hey guys, Ray here, and I've eaten a lot of cookie crackers, and I, there's some here's some stuck on my nose for it. There we go. Anyways, I'm gonna give you guys what I think are the worst albums and the best albums I've ever heard. All right, let's just start with this. Wait, hold up. All right, I'm done. All right, the fifth worst album I've ever heard in my life is Blueface's "Find the Beat" or like "Find the Beat" by Blueface. This album is the definition of a mess, a hot mess, in a bad way. There's not like a single track that stands out, with the exception of Murder Rate, which is also not that great of a song because Polo G completely carried Blueface. Blueface doesn't do that bad, to be honest. But besides that, every song is just so over the top, man. It's like over the top Blueface. It's like enough with these like boom, 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 like that. I literally heard that there. I literally heard that song like freaking like 7 times. Those boom, boom, boom beats. Literally, I think I've heard those beats like 6 or 7 times on this freaking album. Like at least like 7 times. And don't even get me started on like the absolute worst of the worst tracks on here. Like Carne Asada is just absolutely horrendous. In the Zone period are two songs where Blueface tries singing and it goes awfully wrong. I think there's a track with the little baby that sucked. Yeah, little baby sounded awkward as heck on there. And Gunna's and don't even get me started on the feature artists. The feature artists suck as well, especially Gunna and YBN Namir and None of Our Vegas's versus those three are absolutely terrible. And what's AMJ, the guy who made like that Uno song, was on there. Yeah, and also Jeremiah was on that too. Relevant guy. Yeah, I'll talk more about it in the review that I'll do soon. Yeah, Find the Beat is absolutely terrible. One of the worst albums I've ever heard. And the fourth worst album I've ever heard is Harvard Dropout by Lil Pump. Where do I even start with this album? This album is filled to the brim with terrible beats, bars that just suck, straight up suck, and guest features that don't add anything to the song. Like freaking Quavo didn't even add anything to the obnoxious song that is Too Much Ice. Like too much ice, too much ice, too much ice on me. I think that's the chorus goes. I kind of forget because I haven't listened to it in a long time. I kind of liked Multi-Millionaire because it kind of wasn't. I liked the beat a bit, and I really liked the Lil Uzi verse flow on there. But besides that, Lil Wayne's verse on "Be Like Me" is terrible. One of Lil Wayne's worst performances of all time. And then don't even get me started on the lows of the lows here. I Love It, absolutely horrendous song. Kanye West should have never been a part of that song, even though I'm not a big fan of him. Drop Out, the first track, beat was terrible. Pump sounded really awkward on it. Just nah. Who Dat, really boring delivery. Sounded like he's making like a Block Boy JB impression. It's just terrible. And Stripper Name. Do I even need to say anything about that song? That's the beat. YG and 2 Chainz don't even say the track. They have terrible bars. Like I'm not even gonna like. God, it's terrible. And Vroom 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 and Off White don't need an explanation to why they're terrible. Yeah. Next song, the third worst album I ever heard was actually one of my favorites. It's Lil Yachty, but with Teenage Emotions. This album is the definition of when you think you can, you when you think you can do something, you can't. That this is what this album is. It's full of stuff that Lil Yachty was trying to like experiment on, but it just didn't work. Also on the Let's Start Here. I'm sorry, Let's Start Here was overrated. Like not good, not good at all. I didn't really like what Yachty was going for, to be honest. Same thing with Teenage Emotions. There is a track that sounds like Kanye, No More. Yeah, the track No More, where it's basically just Yachty trying to do like Kanye West orientations a bit. It sounds a bit like Kanye West, something like on the Life of Pablo or something. Yeah, it's terrible. There's also like slow songs that just don't add anything. For example, Lady in Yellow is really boring and doesn't add anything to the track list. Better is a reggaeton song that like kind of that doesn't really fit the vibe of the song, and it's such a drag to listen to be honest. Um, the song All Around Me features a weird YG performance and a Kamaya verse that sounds terrible, and don't even get me started on the lows and the lows here. Priorities has a horrible flow by Yachty, one of his worst rap flows of all time. Bring It Back, weird vocals on him. I didn't like that at all. Lady in L, boring song. Moments in Time, boring song. Harley, annoying chorus. Just stop. Dian Freestyle, he had so many cringe. He had such a cringe flow on there. Oh my god, his worst rap flow of all time. And the opening track, Like a Star, was so cringe to be honest. He sounded like freaking Elmo. Anyway, Teenage Emotions, horrible album to be honest. The second worst album I ever heard is Certified Lover Boy by Drake. This album is the definition of it's a Certified Sleeper Boy. It should have said Certified Sleeper Boy. This album is just filled with boring tracks that make you just want to sleep. For example, Effing Fans. That's probably the most that's a terrible, boring Drake performance. Literally, it's basically just like 4 minutes of Drake trying to do like some like weird R&B chopped and screwed. I'll talk about later in one of my reviews to be honest. But yeah, even the rap tracks aren't good. Way Too Sexy is the definition of awful cringiness. Girls Want Girls has the cringiest line on the whole album. In the Bible is really boring. Fair Trade, I Am Y2, and You Only Live Twice are the only three songs I go back to, especially I Am Y2. That Kanye verse was so magical, to be honest. I wish Juice was on there. Also, Fair Trade's amazing. And You Only Live Twice is also pretty good, too. But then, it's not that good. Night Talk is overrated. That 21 Savage performance is not it, to be honest. I'll talk about it later in the review. It's just not good. The number one worst rap album I've ever heard of in my life is Bad Vibes Forever by XXXTentacion. Oh my god, this is the most disrespectful album I've ever heard in my life. Literally every song on here is so badly produced. His vocals, X's vocals are so badly mixed that's legendary to be honest. X's label is so bad. They deserve to not even be a label. They deserve to be canceled after releasing the album. Like, when I first heard the album, I was filled with anger on how disrespectful this was. I love X. He is one of my favorite rappers of all time. I didn't really like Skins. That was his first posthumous album. I thought that was a bit iffy. But I felt like they could do better. But no, they got worse with Bad Vibes Forever. The only decent song on this album is the title track, which is actually really soulful, to be honest. Really soft and calm, to be honest. I love Trippie Redd's flow. I love PNB Rock on there, and I love the chorus. It's a great song. But the lows on the lows are just, oh my god. School Shooters with Wayne. Do I even need to explain why that song is absolutely horrendous? That's my least favorite song of all time, to be honest. Oh my god, the worst song I've ever heard in my life. Literally horrible. I'm gonna talk about it in the review. North Star remix, horrible beat. Why would they even change that beat? I love the OG version of that. Why would they add Joyner Lucas and Tyga was supposed to be on that track? If Tyga was on that track, oh my god, it would probably be the worst song. Then we have I Changed Your Life, where I felt like, why was X's sounding like that on that beat? The beat wasn't meant for him. It was meant for Rick Ross. There's also reggaeton tracks like Hot Gal, which is absolutely horrendous. Royalty is a drag to listen to be honest. Yeah, I just want to forget this album. I'm going to review it soon. Next up is the best albums. I have 6 best albums, to be honest. So the sixth best album I've ever heard in my life is a rap album, to be honest. Is Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial by Roddy Ricch. Now, this album is really solid. Front to back, there's no skips. These are what I call perfect 10 out of 10 albums. This album is just perfect. It even has a good Gunna verse. I cannot believe that I'm actually saying that. Gunna literally snapped on this on Start With Me. I cannot believe I'm actually saying that. I'm a certified Gunna hater, to be honest, and Gunna absolutely slapped on that song. That's like the only time Gunna went hard, to be honest. And good job, Nap. No, good job, Gunna, for impressing me for once in your life. I'm not targeting like you. I'm just like saying like I just never liked Gunna's music in the first place. It's always been boring, slow. It dragged on so much. But this is just a breath of fresh air from Gunna. I wish he could do more. I wish he could do more flows with like this. But no, he just doesn't really want to. Then we go on to amazing songs like PETA, which Meek Mill absolutely snapped on that track. Then we have The Box, which is a classic. We have War Baby, which is an outstanding track. We have Perfect Time, which is a really cool track. A really great track, a really amazing track. Then we have Big Step, which is an absolute banger. Underrated track. Tiptoe, my favorite track of the album. A Boogie snapped on that track. Absolutely incredible. Like there's lots of slappers on this track. Backseat, High Fashion is incredible. It's so good. Listen to it immediately. The fifth best rap album is Hollywood's Bling by Post Malone. Now, I love this album, to be honest. This is easily Post Malone's best album. I don't care what anyone says. Like, Beer Bongs Minis is not his best album. This is easily his best album. I think, like, this production fits well in Post Malone. Like, it sounds like if he was trying to imitate The Weeknd, and he just fits it perfectly. Like, that intro track was, like, dope. It was a banger. Literally, like, one of the best beat switches of all time. Like, a top 3 beat switch, like, ever. Then we go into 1,000 Bad Times, which is an absolute masterpiece. Then we got On the Road, which my top 3 on the song. Top 3 on the album, On the Road, Enemies and Circles. Circles being my favorite Post Malone track of all time. He just absolutely slides that. He absolutely, like, fits that beat. He just does an outstanding job on that song. Enemies, the baby absolutely slide. Post Malone does outstanding on that song. It's just so good. Take What You Want. I love Ozzy Osbourne's performance, and I like Travis Scott's performance. To be honest, I love all their performance on there. Anyway, it's just a great album. Y'all have to go listen to it. Now, the fourth best album I've ever heard is Man on the Moon Free, The Chosen by Kid Cudi. Oh my God, this brings back so many memories. Like, so many memories, literally. Like, track, I enjoy every single track on here. And, like, all these 6 best rap albums, they have no skips. They're flawless albums, in my opinion. You can disagree all you want, I really don't care, but it's my opinion. You know, so don't get too flabbergasted. So don't get too whiny and mad. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, that album was absolutely amazing. I felt like Tequila Shots was a perfect opening track. Show Out is just a dream come true. Seeing Cudi on a drill beat, I would never thought when I saw Pop Smoke on that track, I was like, oh, are they gonna have a drill beat? This drill beat is absolutely outstanding, like one of the best drill beats of all time. And then we have Rockstar Nuts, which is my second favorite track off the album. Trippie Redd absolutely did his thing. Then we have Mr. Solo Dolo Free, which is outstanding. Then we have Loving Me, which is amazing. Another Day is so good, one of the best on the album. Dive, oh my God, top 3 on the album. It's just so good. Anyways, amazing album. Now, the 3 albums are the Juice WRLD albums. Number 3 being Juice WRLD's Goodbye and Good Riddance. Number 2 being Lessons Never Die. Number 1 being Death Race for Love. Goodbye and Good Riddance is just, it has a special place in my heart, man. When I first listened to this album, I fell in love with this album when it first dropped. I literally played every single song. Every single song had, like, I felt like had a meaning to it. And that's how much I love that album. It has no skips. Flawless. One of the best rap albums, like, of all time. one of the best, the best debut album possibly ever. The best SoundCloud album of all time. One of the best. One of the most magical rap. I'm doing a video. So I'm sorry, Ray. You can continue, okay? Okay. I just sorry. Was that your mom, man? Yeah, it was my mom. Yeah. Okay. Um. Anyways, okay. You can get. Can I continue? Yeah, you can continue. Okay. Goodbye and Rin's amazing album. You have to check it out. Number 2 is Legend Never Die, which is, oh my god, this is the perfect posthumous album, man. When I'm listening to this album, I was just crying the whole way through because Juice WRLD literally had his whole life taken from him. To be honest, he had overdosed, and I was just so sad when that, like, I was in a dark mood. I was in a dark place that time when he passed away. But this album cheered me up, and like, thank you so much for releasing this album. Like, Grade A, you're the best. I love this album so much. Every single song is beautiful. The instrumentals are so magical. They're so good. Like, I'll talk about in a review of how amazing that album is and how well perfectly how perfect that album is. Number 1, my favorite rap album of all time is Death Race for Love. This album, when I first listened to this album, I knew it was gonna be amazing after like Goodbye and Rins, but oh my god, this album is so outstanding. Literally every song is so good. Literally, it fits the meaning. There's not like a single song that has like radio on it. There's not like a single radio song. It fits like the tone of like a death race. If you're like in a race, and every single song has the beat, like feels like every single beat feels like you're racing. You know what I'm saying? Literally every song is so good and so well constructed. Every song is perfect. I just love this album so much. The main reason why I love it is because it has my 3 favorite tracks of all time, which are my third favorite track is Fast, my second favorite track being Empty, my first being Robbery, which Robbery is my favorite rap song of all time, my favorite song of all time. Literally, Robbery is like the definition of a perfect song. It's so freaking good. One of the best, like one of my no, it's my favorite song of all time. It's like a masterpiece. The album is perfect. You guys need to check it out. It's a perfect album. It's flawless, no skips. Anyways, and also like I said, those 6 best albums have no skips, and they're pretty much flawless. Anyways, fly everyone. I'll do a video tomorrow on Juice WRLD, Legend Never Die, comparing the albums. Legend Never Die and Bad Vibes Forever, comparing the albums to see which is better. Which Legend Never Die is 100 times better. Legend Never Die is 100 times better. Anyways, fly everyone. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye. Whoa.